Okay. Our interview coming up in just a minute or so is sponsored by our friends at Ace Hardware. I am a big fan of a product called Azek. If you listen to the show at any moment of time, you know that when this product was first introduced years ago, I was telling you about, there's this great new PVC product they created for trim boards, and, it's a really awesome product. And I was early on giving the advice that when Hardy Board was really out there with the siding, which I really like, that cementitious siding, Hardy Board, and Certainty has a product as well. One thing that I was disappointed with is that their trim boards they needed a little more work. They've gotten a lot better since they first introduced them. But one great alternative at the time, and it still is to do all the trim boards in this Azek product. And then several years ago, Azek, which is an extruded PVC product, came out with deck boards, which I thought were also awesome because the color is all the way through. You can get it in different colors, and it's easy to clean. Nothing grows on it. It's just an awesome product. So a couple weeks ago, I get a lot of stuff sent to me, new products and whatnot. I get this box from someone in the PR world who I know, Maureen Murray, who works for a company that does the PR work for Azek and this vast pavers. They've created paving stones out of Azek, and they even put my name on it. It's like a coaster. But I thought, they kind of etched it in there. It was the coolest thing I ever saw. And I said immediately to Lindsay, we got to get somebody on here to talk about this thing. Joining me on the phone line right now is Scott Sester. He's the Vice President of Sales for VAST. And Scott, you're down at the International Builder Show?
That is correct. Good morning, Lou. How are you today?
Thanks so much for joining me this morning and waking up so early. First of all, tell me what VAST is.
VAST is a startup company based out of Minneapolis, and we have a groundbreaking technology. And what we've done is we've partnered out with Azek. So going forward, the Azek VAST pavers will be available through the Azek channel. And what we've developed is a paver which is made from recycled tires and plastics, no longer going into our landfills. So it's 95% post-consumer recycled content. And for the first time, you can really put these pavers in any outdoor application.
It's the slickest thing I ever saw. Now, Azek typically is not made from a high recycled content. But are you using some of their, whatever is the soup in their recipe to blend all this in what you're doing?
Our recipe is actually quite different, but when you look at Azek, what they've done in the building material space in terms of bringing quality products, we're going to fall right into line with that. And we're going to be, again, one of the differences is going to be in any sort of LEED or green building projects with that high content of post-consumer recycled product. We're going to provide more LEED credits than any other paver out there.
Now, you guys are introducing this down at the Builder Show. No one's really seen this until the Builder Show that's going on right now, right?
Right. Azek has a beautiful booth, and the back half of it is all of the pavers, and it allows people to get up on the pavers and stand on them and see them in about a 20 by 20 application, which really gives you an idea of the design flexibility with the product, how it looks, what it feels like to stand on, because we are very different than concrete. We're less abrasive, we're softer. The pavers themselves absorb less than 1% of moisture, which means we're very stain resistant, and in residential applications, we're guaranteeing the pavers will not crack.
So the sample that you sent me is about the size in the face dimension of a regular brick paver. However, the thickness of the surface of it that you would walk on is, I would say, about 3/4 of an inch, maybe 5/8 of an inch? And then there's almost like molded feet on it. So it's very lightweight.
Correct. We are 1/3 the way to concrete. And what really sets us apart is it's a paver. It's a traditional 4x8 standard Holland paver.
Mm-hmm.
And it fits into a grid. Now, the grid is 16 by 16 inches, and what we've come up with, the engineering behind this product, the material is also, nobody has any material like it. But the grid, what happens is the pavers interlock in the grid. So when you're laying this out, you have this grid system, and by overlapping a paver between two grids, now this whole slab is interconnected. And the grid is really the magic, because the grid forces your lines to be straight. If you've ever installed pavers, you know, your traditional concrete pavers, you're stringing a line, you're working your way out, you've got your rubber mallet. We take all of that out of it. The grid really simplifies everything, and so you have a system whereby you have these pavers that are incredibly durable. Again, they're not going to stain the way concrete does. They don't have efflorescence. And what's more important is they cut with traditional tools. So if you've got a miter saw or a jigsaw in your garage, you have all the tools to install these pavers. And with the grid, if you've never installed pavers before, like I say, your lines are going to be straight. With one-third the weight, this is not back-breaking labor.
And what am I installing this on? So with a, I mean, the information that I got is very, hey, look at this, and tell Maureen Murray whatever you're paying her, it's obviously worth it, because you're already talking to consumers with the product, and you guys probably weren't ready to do that yet. And so, but that's what this is all good stuff.
Yep.
In other words, when I'm doing traditional pavers, I'm putting, a 6-inch base of gravel. I'm putting a couple inches of setting sand. I'm doing all this work. What is the recommended application for the sub-base of this?
Great question. We're going to recommend that same sub-base as if you were laying traditional concrete or clay pavers. Now, those are going to be for ground applications. Mm-hmm. Pavers are designed for parking lots, driveways, patios, sidewalks. So it's going to be that same sub-base. Once that sub-base is put in place, you lay out your grids, you lay out your pavers in any pattern you want. From a design perspective, very flexible to work with. 5 colors that you can mix and match. You can do herringbones, basket weaves, running bond. And then it's really just a matter of your same process. You're going to use your landscape edging, be it metal or plastic, sweep sand, run a compact over them, and they're going to lock in just like a concrete or clay paver.
But I could put this, based on what you're telling me, I could put this over a slab of concrete.
Exactly. So we've got a traditional paver for ground applications, for vehicular applications.
Right.
And then we've got a paver that's called the resurfacing paver. Now, this is a thinner profile. The grid in the paver is 1.75 inches. And the idea behind this resurfacing paver is we're a covering. So if you've got an existing deck that you're tired of taking care of, you can literally put this on top of the deck, and now you've got that premium appearance of pavers, low maintenance, very green, and you can put that over a concrete pad, over balconies, over flat roofs. So this thinner paver, this idea of a green covering, is really going to be, I believe, huge.
That's the one you sent me, the one that has the little feet.
Yep.
So now, when like on a balcony, the beauty part here is, of the balcony that has a pitch to it, the water can still go through the gaps in the pavers, but now the paver itself is elevated and it can still drain.
Correct.
Look at how smart you guys over there, Scott. Somebody paid attention in science class.
There you go.
Wow.
It's a really great product, and to have a chance to see some of the applications and the designs that you can do. I mean, you can go to azek.com or vastpavers.com. We've got,
and it's vast with a V. It's V-A-S-T.
Correct. Vast with a V.
Now, all right, a couple other questions. So right now, the patterns that are out there are just traditional pavers, but I'm sure you're already working on like a Brussels look, or, because it sounds like once you create different molds, I mean, you really could do anything with this.
Exactly.
You could even make long strips, or, I mean, you could really, depending on what the market asks you for, or, maybe even there's designers that may ask for custom builds, but you could really create almost anything with this.
Exactly. With this technology, we could make any shape, size, color, or texture. And that will be coming. The other nice thing about the product is because it is so lightweight, one-third the weight of concrete, we can ship anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 square feet on a truck. So we believe we will have the first nationally branded paver sold across the United States.
Wow.
And with Azek, there's going to be a huge launch this spring. The channel already has product. So to date, people, wherever you buy your Azek products, you can say, do you have product, the Azek Vast Paver? And, the potential with the pavers are really unlimited. Like I say, they can go on the ground, on a deck, on a flat roof. It's It's really just a matter of where you want that premium appearance of pavers.
All right, so now let's put the pencil to the paper. This is just launching now. Where will you be selling this product? In other words, now Azek as decking boards and trim boards are sold primarily at lumber yards. Are you going to be? This will be available at the traditional paving suppliers across the country?
This will be available today through any of your Azek dealers.
So anybody that's already, like here in Chicago, we got a terrific Azek dealer, Harry's Lumber, that's on the northwest side of Chicago. So they have access to this because they're an Azek dealer.
Correct.
Okay. And then, go ahead.
I was going to say, and then again, we'll also be coming at the landscape side of the business as well.
Right. And then all you have to do is do a little bit of training, but you just made their life, based on what you just described to me, like 1,000% easier.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't know, Lou, have you ever installed traditional pavers?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Now let's talk about cost. Where are we price wise with this product?
The standard paver, or the thicker paver, again, that's going to be used for parking lots and driveways, will be in that $9 range per square foot. And when we talk about a square foot price, that always includes the paver and the grid.
Okay.
And the thinner resurfacing paver will be in that $8 per square foot range.
Right.
And again, on average, in ground applications with independent time test studies, we are going to install 3 times faster.
Right. So the real savings here is the installation price, and then obviously, as with any product, when it's new, the pricing's a little bit higher. But as this grows and the competitive marketplace goes there, I mean, eventually you're going to find this to be much more affordable. But even now, the installation side, from a professional standpoint, is huge.
Correct.
I mean, you can do that many more jobs, in a year when you're putting this stuff down. It's really terrific. It was one of these things that, I get hit with a lot of products, both here on my radio show and on my television show, House Smart. So you got to talk about this, you got to do all this kind of stuff. And I opened up this box from Maureen, and I was like, I immediately got it. You know what I mean? I didn't have to even read the little piece of paper that she sent me. I knew exactly what it was. And you, my friend, have a winner on this hand. If you can't sell this, they're going to get rid of you. So you better really, make hay while the sun is shining, all right?
No, I think anybody that sees the pavers will absolutely understand what we're bringing to the market. And, from a price perspective, you may pay a little more than a concrete paver, but with the features and benefits, the fact that it's going to cut with traditional tools, it's not going to stain the way concrete does, it's not going to crack. You're in a lot of applications, particularly in the Chicago market, you're much like Minneapolis. What breaks down concrete the fastest is freeze-thaw and salt. Mm-hmm. And the Azek Vast pavers are immune to both. We don't absorb moisture, so we're not going to crack. And, in climates in the north where their salt is used, how that pits out concrete, again,
sure,
you can salt our pavers every day, and it doesn't affect the pavers at all.
2 more things. How's the response been from the builders down there taking a look at this stuff?
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's just been a fantastic show, and to see people get so excited about a new product is really gratifying.
And I do business with the fine folks at Marvin Windows and Doors, another Minneapolis company, and I heard the attendance at the show is good, and there's a lot of optimism, and the prognosis is looking good for the industry. So I hear things are upbeat down there.
They are, and for us in the Midwest, with a mild winter,
oh my gosh,
great for business as well.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see a turn in things this year for sure.
People can find information at azek.com as well as, is it vast.com?
It's vastpavers.com.
VAST pavers.com. Scott Sester is the Vice President of Sales for VAST. Scott, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the show down there. And it's down in Orlando, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so you don't want to come home to Minneapolis. Call your wife and say you're going to spend a few more days down there.
I'll do that.
You got it. Scott, thanks so much.
Thanks for your time.
Take
care.
Have
a great day.
You too. Really terrific item. We'll put links up to this up on our webpage as well as a Facebook page, azek.com and VAST, V-A-S-T-E, pavers.com. Brand new product, I think, is going to be a huge hit. They've got a huge hit on their hand. 7:53 in the morning. Lou Manfredini here with you. The interview, as I mentioned, is sponsored by Ace. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Every time I watch Channel 5 News and the weatherman comes on and it's Pete Sack, I have to chuckle.
I've always thought that the best anchor team would be Dick Johnson, Pete Sack, Linda Yu, and Jackie Bang.
Gary Meyer, weekday afternoons at 3. What?
Johnson, Sack, Bang, you. Tonight at 10 o'clock. The G.
Gather round your radios, my friends, and listen. For too long, we have spent our weekends driving back and forth from some home improvement warehouse, looking for the right kind of light bulbs, searching for an air filter that actually fits. No more. We will go to Ace. Get help from people who know their stuff, and get it the second we walk in, so we can pick up everything we need in one trip. Then illuminate our houses with CFLs, breathe the sweetness of freshly filtered air, and do it all before our second cup of coffee. My friends, it's time to get your weekend back.
The folks at your neighborhood Ace can help you quickly turn your to-do list into a to-done list.
Neighbors, today we stop wasting our weekend standing in line for paint. For today, we go to Ace, where we'll find top-notch paint and supplies from people who know their stuff. It's time to get your weekend back.
Ace can help you quickly turn your painting to-do list into a to-done list. Ace, the helpful place.
I'm happy to report that the Chevy Cruze is the best-selling compact car in all of Chicagoland, and Chevrolet is the best-selling brand in Chicagoland. Number one, now is the time to get a new 2012 Chevy Cruze. Safety, great gas mileage, and Chevy's 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty are all there for you in the new Cruze. Now, the Chevy Cruze Eco gets 42 miles per gallon on the highway. You know what? That's the best highway fuel economy of any gas engine in America. Hybrid performance without the hybrid price. The 2012 Chevy Cruze is affordable as well, starting at under $17,000. This is the new car value story of the year. Your safety and the safety of your passengers, though, is very important to Chevrolet. The Chevy Cruze comes standard with 10 airbags. Check out the great lease deals that your Chevy dealers are currently offering. It's time to test drive the 2012 Chevy Cruze. Log on to ChevyDriveChicago.com for details and to see the one-of-a-kind Chicago Blackhawk Chevy Camaro. That's ChevyDriveChicago.com.
For outstanding personalized cancer care, call Cancer Treatment Centers of America at 800-887-3999. That's 800-887-3999 to learn more.
Or did you wake up this morning and go, it's so dry, my skin's so dry, I'm itchy? You need properly humidified air. You know, when it's cold outside like it is today, that dry air kind of permeates into your home and it makes you feel dry and vulnerable to illness. That's why you should have an AeroSwiss ultrasonic humidifier in your home. Now, AeroSwiss ultrasonic humidifiers are available for rooms up to 650 square feet. They're easy to use. All of them come equipped with a hygrostat, which means it's constantly measuring the humidity in the room, and when you set it to the desired humidity, it gets it there and holds it there. The entry-level models offer cool mist, while the advanced ones have the both cold and warm mist options available. All of them are virtually silent. They're energy efficient, extremely reliable, and come with a 3-year warranty. They even automatically shut down when they're empty. AeroSwiss humidifiers are on display at Bed Bath & Beyond, Best Vacuum on Lincoln Avenue, and select Ace Hardware stores. For details or to order online, visit aeroswiss.net. That's aeroswiss.net. Protect your health and enhance your comfort with AeroSwiss humidifiers and air washers.
Feeling the 7-year itch? Maybe the 20-year itch? Just in time for Valentine's, how to divorce-proof your marriage. Bill Mahler, next at 9 o'clock on 720 WGN.
7:57 in the morning. Lou Manfredini here with you. Quick call before we have to get to news. Mary's in Elk Grove Village. Hi, Mary. You're on WGN.
Hi, Lou. I'm measuring my front porch.
What's the matter?
I have. I was outside, but I'm going in. I have a front porch that's very large. I live in Elk Grove Village. It's a cement porch, and it's got a crack down the middle of it, the short way. And I'm just wondering, that you've just been talking to the pavers guy.
Yeah.
Could I put those pavers on top of?
You sure could.
What about a garage?
You could do that too. They have two, based on what he just told me. Now, this is a brand new product, Mary.
Yeah.
But these pavers are, they make one for car traffic and one for walking traffic. So for your patio, you could do the resurfacer, as he talked about,
right,
or your porch, rather. And for the garage, you put this grid system on. The only thing is it's gonna elevate that garage, and so you're gonna have to come up with some transition driving up to the garage.
That much?
Well, it's probably 2 inches.
Well, 2 inches isn't much for a car to go up.
No. But I mean, just so you know.
Yeah.
Are you have a computer at home?
I do, but I don't use it real well.
All right. Well, if you go to azek.com.
Oh, that's what I wanted to find out.
Do you have a pencil?
Wait a second. I'm going back to my table. Here, I'm downstairs. Okay, spell it.
AZEK.
EK. Yes.
.com. Azek.com.
Okay.
And then within there, you're going to look for the VAST, V-A-S-T,
yes.
Pavers.
Okay.
And you can find all that information. And the thing is, Mary, it's brand new. There's probably no one in Chicago yet that either knows about it or is doing it yet, but they can find out information about it and figure out how to do it. I appreciate the phone call. That time at the Tone meant that it's 8 o'clock in the morning. The Cubs and the Blackhawks play.